and congratulations on the brand new single. We've been playing it on our show now for about a week, I think, and it's been getting so much great feedback, so congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for spinning it.
No problem. Now, I understand this song is about a very, very deep topic, so I was wondering if you could tell our listeners a little bit about how the track came about and what it's actually all about.
Yeah, of course. So I think during the pandemic, all of us kind of were forced to look a little bit inward at our own mental health and our journeys as to where we got so far. And I was looking back over some past relationships, and there was a relationship, my first ever love, like first time I fell in love when I was 16. And he was like everything to me, my entire, like always and forever, all that stuff, thinking he was the one. And then looking back on that relationship, I realized that it was quite toxic and quite manipulative. And being 16 and really naive, I didn't know that at the time. And Tripwire is really about my own naivety in that scenario and what I learned from it. And looking back now, how I can see all of the stuff that was laid in front of me that I was just sort of blind to. So it's kind of a commentary on like manipulative relationships and how love can kind of blind you to those sorts of things.
And going back and thinking about that and kind of re-experiencing it, did that kind of bring it all back to you as well? Did that make it quite tough to write about?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, we were best friends for like a long time, and then we were together, and then we broke up a bunch of times or whatever, and then we were still best friends to the point where he was like playing in my bands like previous to In Eyes and stuff like that. And so he'd always sort of been a part of my life, and then I'd started thinking about it during the pandemic and everything, and I was like, oh wow, that stuff I think had more of an effect on me than I realized, because I've been in other relationships since that were fine and everything, and I'm in a relationship now that's like deeply committed, and we've been together for 8 years, and it's wonderful. So I think having the experience of what I've been through now really made me realize, like, oh, none of that was actually okay.
Yeah.
But it's made me sort of understand how I wish to be cared for now, which is a really, really positive thing that came out of it. But I just wanted to document like the naivety behind it all, and how I've come to sort of realize how naive I was back then. Yeah.
Definitely. And this is the kind of track I think that a lot of people will listen to and it'll resonate with them. Are you expecting that maybe some people might reach out to you and say, hey, this sounds a lot like a relationship I'm going through now, and almost ask for help?
I haven't had anybody so far, but I know a lot of people in my life have been through the same sort of thing and are really resonating with it. I mean, my DMs are always open if that's the case. If people do need to reach out and talk about those things, like, I'm always here. And I think it's awesome that it could possibly do that for some people, or help them see something in themselves that they didn't see before. I think that's really like a valuable thing to have as a listener and also as an artist.
Definitely. I was going to ask that. How does it feel as an artist knowing that you've written such an important track, but a track that might even change some people's lives out there?
I mean, that's all you can really like ask for, is, helping people through music. I think music has helped everyone in some way, shape or form, at least in some point in their life. So in order to sort of give back to people who support me and just like love me, if I can give back to them or give them some sense of worth or purpose, or even just an escape for 3.5 minutes or whatever it is, that's really the most valuable thing about the entire process of all of it for me.
Definitely. Now, we mentioned about during the lockdowns and everything, how it was a time for a lot of people to go back and look at things in their lives. But what was it like for you as a musician? Because you guys were just taking off and starting to build a great fan base, and then all of a sudden Australia locked down. So how did you go through that period, and what was it like for you as an artist?
It was the roughest thing that Eyes certainly has had to face. It was really rough because 2017 to 2019, Chris, my drummer, and I were studying the Bachelor of Popular Music at Griffith University together. And we graduated at the end of 2019, and we were like, all right, now that we're not doing uni, we've got an entire year in front of us to full-time just go for it with In Eyes. And we'd had plans to drop our previous song, The Dreamer, which came out in the September of 2020. That was planned to come out in the February of 2020, and then we were going to drop Tripwire in like the June.
Yep.
And it's now February 2022, well, March now, but we dropped Tripwire in February. So it was a 2-year delay, like, between sort of that plan. Throughout 2020, we only saw each other twice, and that was in the studio and filming the music video for The Dreamer. So 2 times in a whole 365 days was all we got to put that together. So that was really, really tough, and it just put a delay on everything. And then with Tripwire, we were like, all right, well, The Dreamer's out now in September, so maybe Tripwire can come out in February of 2021. So we tried to book our studio because it was finally like you could have enough people in the same household to do that with the restrictions. But because every other one of our engineers' clients was also stopped because of the pandemic, he was fully booked out for like another 7 months.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to even record Tripwire until July. And then, so it's just brought us to here now. But like, I'm thankful that it's come out now because I think the timing, it's sort of divine timing, and it feels right, and I don't think the song would have been as good or received as well as it was if we rushed it or anything like that. But yeah, it was a really tough time, especially when we had so many plans to like really put the pedals to the metal and go for it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And now the country is starting to open back up as well, so that gives you more opportunities. What are the plans for the band for the rest of this year now?
We are hoping to play a lot of shows. We miss playing shows. We had some really great shows and opportunities booked in for the second half of last year, but because of the Delta variant and Omicron variant, all of those got cancelled or postponed, so we weren't able to do any of those, which was really a shame. So we really just want to get back on stage again, and we're writing a lot, and I'm hoping to put an EP out this year, but we can only do sort of what we're capable of in, not to say these unprecedented times, but these, you know, it's every day anything could change and make things difficult, but hopefully an EP. Hopefully.
Definitely. We would definitely look forward to an EP. And when you mention shows, are you looking to do local shows, or are you thinking that you might be able to get to Sydney and Melbourne at one point as well?
I would love to get down to Sydney and Melbourne and do like a little East Coaster. That'd be a lot of fun. Especially if we do the EP this year, I think like an EP launch tour would really be beneficial to be off the back of that record. But for Tripwire and for now, it's just going to be a bunch of local sort of Brisbane shows. If anything, any opportunity comes up that feels right and we can make it work, then we'll make it work regardless of where it is. So
definitely.
Yeah, but I'd like to get down there.
And I know the other thing as well, that how people can help you at the moment is through merchandise. Do you guys have merchandise that people can buy that can support you from other states as well?
Yes, we do. So we have a Big Cartel page, which is just inismusic.bigcartel.com. And on there we have a Tripwire exclusive symbols tee, which is really, really cool. And they are, I believe they're up for $20 online. So if you are willing to support like any local music, like not even just us, if there's bands that you like and want to support, always look into merch options and stuff. But yeah, we have a t-shirt up there. Which is purchasable should anyone want it.
Awesome. I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people out there who are going to want one, because I know a lot of our listeners have fallen in love with the band because of Tripwire. And because of that, we're going to play Tripwire on our show again right now. So, Rosie, is there anything you would like to say to everybody out there before they take a listen to this track once again?
Oh, just thank you so much for spinning it, and thanks everyone for streaming it and getting into it and listening to it and always supporting us, even though we've been quite slow with everything we've done. But, you know, the world's opening back up again, and so is all the doors in front of us. So I hope you guys love it and continue to support us, and hopefully we'll see you all at a show soon.